Okay, we have activated all our platform. Please, those who can navigating us now live, let us know. Those who will have any challenge to hear what we are saying, let us know as well. We are going to check all our platform. We shall be live on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So you let us know from where you are viewing us. So if it's your first time to tune into our platform, please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and comment as well. We are going to have a spiritual chat with Spiritualist Master, in which we're going to simplify spirituality. We're going to make it easy for you to understand what you might not be understanding. Please let us manifest and comment. Let us know from which platform you are able to watch us live now. Let us know from which platform you are able to watch us live now. Yes, YouTube, I confirm. YouTube, I confirm. Now, I want to see those on Facebook, TikTok. We are live. I want to see if you're getting us live. Instagram as well. We are going to uncode spirituality. We are going to make it easy. What seems archaic, what seems old, what you might not think is necessary, we are going to simplify them for you. Okay, TikTok as well, we are live. Facebook, we need now Facebook. Facebook, we also need you to manifest so that we are assured. Beloved, we are going to uncode spirituality and simplify it for everyone. I can see now the platform are appearing now. So people will be joining us live. You are welcome to comment. You are welcome to ask questions, to request to join the panel as well. And the teaching is open for your interest. In our modern society, we are dealing with a lot of issues, which, as a matter of fact, is exposing us to difficulty. And it's become a common knowledge that many amongst us are searching for spiritual identity. People are trying to find spiritual solutions to the challenge that they are having. And that alone, it speaks a lot. Now, how do we find ourselves in such a situation? We find ourselves in such a situation partially because we contributed to it. And on the other side, we didn't act when the situation was happening. You might be telling me now that you have tried everything, which I agree. You can tell me that you even invest your money in order for you to be able to find solutions, which is true. But now, the question is, how do you still turning around in the same position, same circumstances? One needs to scrutinize themselves. Surely you always go for spirituality. They always tell you what to do. You might be one of those who apply what you are told, or one of those who are just to find out and leave it as it said, or you are told. All those are your choices. The truth is, it's your choices. When you apply what you are told, before you apply them, if you check it, that it was reflecting or relating to your reality, whatever reading that was provided to you was a clear reflection of what you are going through. Because if you just take chance to apply what does not convince you, it won't work for you. I'm going to tell you why certain things does not work in your life. The majority of people forget that they've got the inner power, the inner divine spiritual power from the Creator. You got it, I got it, everyone got it. What make our differences is the activation and empowerment which you bring with it. That is why you're gonna see some people, they are able to fulfill their words, but some they are unable. Some people they are perceived to be powerful, some they are perceived to be weak. The reason is not because the powerful are so special. The main reason is because the powerful are activated. And then other reason can be from the spiritual status. We all have the power, but we do not carry the same mission. That is still a fact which can make you weaker compared to the other person. Now, once you find yourself in such situation, what do? If you come across a reality that you are dealing with someone powerful than yourself, how do you handle the situation? That is why I want you to understand first the power that is within you, why your situation is not working, regardless of whatever you are doing, as well as how you can reactivate that power or activate it. You may come across someone who's more powerful than you, or you might have been taking steps which you realize that they are not working for you. Some of you remain in those steps. You remain blocked, limited, in bondage, just because you don't want to deceive certain people, which is completely wrong, as you are the main loser. Now, let us go progress. The power that is within you is what is called the natural power. You can relate it as your connection to your ancestral line. That is a spiritual power that is driven by all the gifts provided to you from the time you reincarnated in this life. Those power, you can use them through your word, through your actions, through the mixture. You can use them in whichever way you feel fit or you deem fit. But now, if you are unable to use them, is because you are spiritually absent. The only reason you are unable to utilize your power is because you are spiritually absent. How you are spiritual absent? Your energy is sleeping. Your inner being, your spiritual being, is asleep, is not awakened. You need to keep it alive and alight. How do you do that? Is through a regular set of time for your incantations and your ritual. It's common knowledge that the majority of you who are watching and listening to me right now, I've been told and been believing that whatever belief you can put in your spiritual and traditional way is something that's gonna lead you to an imaginary furnace of fire. The majority of you have renounced to your own identity in a search of salvation. But the truth today is you're still dealing with the same issues. Now, how does Kemetic spirituality come in and assist? It's because it's taking you back to nature. In Kemetis, we use nature. We utilize the power of creation to eat nature. There are things which you can use words to resolve. There are things which you need to utilize tools to resolve. And once you become enlightened, you are connected and you're going to use tools which align with your spiritual identity with your culture, morals, and values. The foundation of our belief and our spirituality is founded in our culture and traditions. When I look at around today, as Africans, we are lost nation in different areas because we have stripped ourselves from our identity. We might appear to be successful by copying a culture and tradition which is not ours, but is not a lasting success because we do not own it. In today's society, everyone, everywhere are raising complaints. It can be a professional one, it can be a social one, it can be an emotional one, it can be a financial one, even a vision. Stress is affecting everyone, but everyone seems to be accommodating it than rebuking it and dealing with it. It doesn't matter the nature of the stress that a person is having, but we seem to develop a culture to cope with it than addressing it and not experiencing it again. We seem to have adapted an attitude to feel weak, powerless in front of stress or in front of challenges. My question to you is, are you willing to sit on the victim chair? Are you willing to join another statistic? Or it's time for you to say no? I am not. I am not going to be another statistic. I'm not going to sit in the victim chair. I'll reclaim back what is mine. Are you weak or are you strong? How do you see yourself? How do you define yourself? Because Kemetism is here to unlock. You are just too blind not to see the open doors. Sometimes you fail to understand what is very clear in front of you. The nature in you will connect with the nature around you. That spiritual power within you, the one still sleeping, at the time you only temper into it, when you're truly emotionally affected, that same power can still be utilized to resolve any kind of problem around you. Why are you limiting yourself? Why do you think spirituality is a strange thing to do? Why or what makes you think what is spiritual need to be presided over or declared? You got the power within you to break the limitations around you. You have the power within you as you're watching to me now. As you're watching me now and listening to me, you got the power to unlock what seems to be locked. Nothing is lost. You just need to do the things in the right way. Nothing is lost. You just need to apply the right formula. You need to remove doubting. You need to remove limitations. I'm not asking you to develop faith. I'm not preaching faith, neither selling it. But I need you to deal with faith in front of you. Kemetic spirituality educates us to deal with faith, not faith. It educates us to respect nature and connect with it. Get power through it. When whatever plan you're having in mind seems to fail, do not spend your energy explaining and wondering. Regroup your energy, meditate, review, focus. You succeed. You cannot and shall not, as a kinetic spiritual person, detach yourself from nature and isolate yourself in modernity when facing challenges. Use the nature around you. It can be water, it can be trees, it can be a garden, it can be the ground, it can be fire, it can be the air. We all live around nature. Even those who are locked up. You got time where you can breathe air, where you can be where there's a window, where there's a sun, where you can see the moonlight. In order for you to balance and truly activate your inner nature, you need also to connect with cosmic power, the sun, the moon, the stars. When last have you given thank you to the ground which you are waking upon? The ground that is feeding you. When last have you given thank you to water that is bathing you, easing your taste, and balancing your body? When last did you give thank you to the fire which is making you cook and eat your food? If I want to go into details of what all these nature are giving you, we're gonna go a long way. You always benefit what you offer in return to the animal around you. As a chemetic spiritual person, my heart teach you balance, justice, fairness. You cannot activate the power within you when you are living a life out of my heart, a life of dishonesty and kindness. It makes you weak. There's a difference between an awakened and enlightened person with the common person. Society have make it easy for people to think that is a norm. The praise of trading currency, which we call money. The worship of the trading currency, which we call money. Society around us have made it look as if it is a treasure. Well, they are awakened and enlightened and understand that it only carry human energy, which need to be commended. When your inner nature is arising, the limited need of common human will be suppressed. The fear of the unknown always leads people to make mistakes. It's common to human. But the enlightened one and the awakened, they are not shaken by situations because they know the solution will come there. They've been factual. They not live by faith. They live by fact. When we are dealing with situations that are concrete, you need to use things that are concrete. When we are having a house which is got a lot of negative energy, a house that is not favoring your peace, your joy, or you are aware of negative spiritual attack against yourself, your property, your home. You don't just sit down and speak words. You just don't fold your hand. Blessed evening, Ladi, to you as well. Ladi Sigres. When you come across such challenges, you need to use spiritual tools which are appropriated. You need to utilize spiritual tools which are appropriated. Now, the bigger mistake people always make is one. It's not because you know the name of what can be used, that you got the power to empower that particular things to be utilized. That is the biggest mistake people make, and they keep making it. In order for anything to function, you must have the power to cast in it for it to be activated. A metal and a wood can never be activated the same way. The bones of an animal and the bones of a bird can never be activated the same way. And one needs as well to understand the spiritual code related to whatever ritual they need to do first. And the spiritual code can only be found through the code of the individual who needs services and the code of the tools that you're going to utilize. Some of the reasons that people fail is because they become autodidact in a field which they do not understand clearly what needs to be done, what shall not be done. I believe I'm being clear in how I'm trying to simplify things. I will give you an example. You personally know that sage or impepo, it's been used to cleanse places yourself, even for certain spiritual healings. Certainly, you did go see people or participate in ritual or ceremony which sage was used for cleansing. Now, what you didn't pay attention to is the person who was conducting that particular ritual was qualified, was the appropriate person to do that. You might have the knowledge, but you don't have the capability and capacity to do it. I'll give you another simple example. The majority of us who understand the law, we know what is wrong, what is right. We know very well when somebody is committing a daily or an action which gonna lead them to be considered a criminal, what will happen to them? But not all of us, we are allowed to arrest that particular person. We can report, we can inform the relevant authority, but we cannot take the law into our own hand. And even when we come across of blocking that person from evading the end of justice, we're not allowed to make mob justice. We're expected to hand him over to the people who are mandated, are vetted with the state power to end this kind of delinquent behavior. Same apply at the spiritual level. I will give you another simple example. The majority of us, especially adults, we know quite a few medications for different sickness, even very, very strong sickness, chronic sickness. You might know what somebody can take when they got high blood pressure, low blood pressure, sugar diabetes, or whatever sickness. But If it happened that you got the same symptoms, you'll prefer to go back to the medical doctor to get you checked and prescribed in order for you to respect the prescription dosage and to take the correct medication. Same apply at the spiritual level as well. It's a matter of you understanding that the mere fact of you watching a video, you reading a publication, a book, or being told a story does not necessarily qualify you to do certain things. You might go out because sometimes I come across people, you give them the reading. They want you to give them a prescription of what they shall go and buy and use. Then you ask yourself, someone in a bondage, how are they going to free themselves? At the time, because they know already what will happen, I'll pretend and give the person. When you follow up with them, they never take any step. So basically, they become curious of discovering what can be done and not taking actions. And lastly, we are going to teach and develop the spiritual connection. How you can unlock that through the spiritual connection. It through all these points that I've named, a point which we are going to be talking about on a daily basis, topic by topic. We are going to be developing them. I'm going to be needing your questions. You can comment your questions. For those who request to come on the panel, will send your request. We're gonna simplify and demystify what people didn't have access to. And we are going to activate our inner being. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, when we need spiritual ingredients, spiritual tools, which can assist, which will help, which will guide you, you are welcome to enter and contact us. Communicate our contact on the screen. We'll supply you with authentic, natural, chemetic ingredients from your home cleansing, personal cleansing, protection, business, health-wise, healing, problem solving, witch hunting, curse removal, empowerment. Throughout this live in all our platforms as you're watching us now, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, and LinkedIn, will be engaging. We'll be taking your questions. You can comment your questions. We'll have time to answer you. You can come on the panel, present your situation. We'll have time to advise you. As I always say, we're not storeroom, so we are not going to keep things within, offload them. When challenging are rising, you need to rise above the challenges. Don't sit in the victim chair. Don't become a statistic. Stand up. Face it. Empower yourself. Get the necessary tools. Go and win the war. I hope all of you are hearing me clearly. Thank you for all the love that you are sending. I truly appreciate. Please do not forget to share the live. Encourage others to join us. Encourage others to follow us. For those who've got questions, you're welcome to comment. I see TikTok, you're the most who are commenting. You're welcome to comment so that I can be able to answer you. Those on YouTube as well, you can be able to comment. We'll answer you. I hope this our first try was successful. We are set, and in the early hours of the morning, we're gonna start with our morning blessing with Spiritual Master. Would be as you're watching us from where you're watching us. So if you didn't subscribe yet on YouTube, please do so. If you didn't subscribe yet on TikTok and follow, please do so. On Instagram, on Facebook, and LinkedIn as well. Your feedback, your input will be welcome. Basically, in resume, you're gonna be having a chat with Spiritualist Master. In the early hours, we are going to start with our first topic, as this was the introduction, which we're gonna talk about how our children are perceiving their mom who have separated with their father. When our children are growing up, they start speaking, and we need to listen. We need to address the situation, attend to it. So I choose in the early hours of the morning, which will be around 3 a.m., to enable parents only to have access and engage before we make the day one where kids also have a platform. So it's gonna be a topic which I'm gonna need us to develop, a topic which I'm gonna need us to address, not as social topic, but as also looking at spiritual implication of what is breaking our society and how we can address. We're gonna start with the mom. The mothers will be the first one that we are going to attack based on what we are having. And then we come also to the father because both they got a responsibility to play. And then we're gonna go also to the kid. Probably we might have a panel where we're gonna have a confrontation between male and female. Even probably with the kid as well, that already mature, who have experienced such situations. So remain blessed and thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching, for commenting, for liking. May the divine light of Ra shine upon you. And don't forget, tomorrow is the moon stage. Hope I'll see you later in our next live. Thank you very much. Keep it well.